guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and same here with the thank you next book tag. I'm awful and already forget who did this tag. I started following her channel recently. It's awesome. I will link the original tag down below, and then I don't even remember whose channel I saw this on. No one tagged me, but I really want to do it, so I'm gonna get to the book tag. It is all based on Ariana Grande's song, Thank You Next, which I actually really like. Ariana Grande, I like her songs, but she mumbles a lot, and so I don't really like get what she's saying, but I do really like Thank You Next, so I'm gonna go ahead and get to the categories in the books that fall under each category. So the first one is Thank You Next. Choose a book that you said thank you next to or you DNF'd. I am about to film a whole entire video about this, but I DNF'd recently a Discovery Witches by Deborah Harkness. Just wasn't for me, was too slow. If you want a full in-depth reasoning why, I will post it soon, so keep an eye out for that. So the next story all have to do with a song where she says, one taught me love, one taught me patience, one taught me pain. And so the first one is One Taught Me Love, and for this one, I just finished this book this morning and I'm still freaking out about it and I'm so sad, but that is Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare with Will, Tessa, and Jem. Like, that is the love triangle to end all love triangles, because you get Tessa's confliction over who she wants and like you don't have a right answer, because like love triangles, like in Twilight, you're like, there's obviously like super team Jacob or super team Edward. For this one, it's like, but you kind of like them both and you're okay with her being with both, but you like kind of want her to be with one, but then you like feel really bad about her wanting to be with one and you're like, wait, no, just like go to the other one. It's so conflicting. And then like Will's whole situation, he taught me about love. Like, this whole book is like just about what it means to love someone. And it's amazing, and I was just like freaking out at the end of this, and I just don't know what to do about it, but it definitely taught me love. The next one is Taught You Patience, and for this one, every single book by this author taught me patience, but the one I'm going to go with is Culty by Mariana Zapata. She's a super slow burn author, and so typically you're waiting and waiting and waiting for something to happen. In this one, I swear it takes like 400 pages for the main couple to even kiss each other. So you are definitely waiting. I was very patient in their relationship, and I'm just like, can they like do something about this chemistry right now? And they don't, and you just wait and wait. And I definitely learned how to be patient by reading Mariana Zapata books. The next one is Taught You Pain, and for this one, this is probably the only book I've ever like full out ugly cried reading, and I think this was 2 years ago. I got this book for Christmas, and so I was still at my parents' house, and it was like 10 o'clock at night, and I was sitting downstairs. Everyone else had like gone up to their room, like my parents did and my sister, and my dog was in my lap. And I was crying so hard, and the tissues were across the room, but Darcy was just sleeping away, so I couldn't get up. So I was a blubbering mess. And that is 1,000 Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole. This one, oh my gosh. If you like want a book, you know you're gonna cry and you're like, I just want a really good cry, you're gonna have to pick this up. This is about a girl and a guy who are like destined to be together. They meet when they're young, and then they start dating when like the appropriate age, like they're like 14. They're just like completely in love with each other. They know they're it for each other, and then his family has to move away, and he is like devastated that they have to move away, and he's so angry with his parents, but he leaves and they're like, okay, we'll still be together. And then she cuts off all communication, and he is like, oh my god, like we were meant to be, like we love each other so much. And he just like becomes this really angry, angsty teenager and changes completely. And then they come back, I want to say like 2 years later, 1 year later, and has to confront her and figure out why she had cut him off. I can't say anything else. Even thinking about this, I'm just like, my heart is ripped out of my chest. So this taught me pain, emotional pain, and it's just like, I can't even deal with it. I don't want to reread it because it is so sad, but I'm glad I read it the first time. The next category is a book that you loved while you were reading it, but don't love anymore, but you still appreciate loving it. So for this one, I'm going to go with A Court of Thorns and Roses. Like, yes, I do still really love this book and this series, but I read this and I was like, this is the best thing ever. Feyre and Tamlin are just like so meant to be, and I'm like, I love them, I ship them, this is amazing. And then I read A Court of Mist and Fury, and that one became like the best thing I've ever read, and I'm obsessed with the romance, and I just can't even with the book. I've read it twice now. I've waited for book 3 at my mailbox until it would show up, and then I read it all the next day. So I still really love this book, and I do want to reread it. But since reading it, my feelings towards this book have definitely really changed, but I still appreciate my obsession for it. So I do want to read this now that I've read the whole series, because I haven't reread this yet, and see how my feelings have changed, because they definitely have, and if I love this as much. And yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone's in the same boat. They like love this one, but as soon as A Court of Mist and Fury came out, you were like obsessed with that one, and definitely changed feelings about this first book. The next one is a book you're currently talking to, so this means like a book you're currently really into. And for me, that's Dr. O.B. by Max Monroe. This is gonna really throw off my lighting. Here's the cover, now I'm gonna put it down. So this book is the first book in a series, and it's about a guy who is an OB, so he works with lady business, and he had agreed to have a documentary done about him, and he thought it was gonna show how caring he is about his job and how he's trying his best to like advance his career, and it airs and makes him look like they call it Dr. Obscene, so it makes him look like a very conceited, full of himself, flirtatious womanizer guy, and like they recorded him changing in the locker room, and so his reputation has definitely changed. Now he has women coming in trying to just meet him, women applying to work for him because they want to date him, women propositioning him, and so his life is just different. And we have our main character. Her name's Melody. She just recently moved in with her parents, and she went from California to New York because she broke up with her boyfriend of like 5 years. She's a nurse, and so her mom's like, oh, let me have you get this interview with these people I know at their son's office. And so she interviews, and they're like, just gets to the chase. Have you heard about the show? And she's like, what show? So she is like thrown into his world, and it's their romance, and it's really good right now. My sister actually works in high-risk OB as a nurse, and so there's all these things they're saying, and I'm asking her like what they mean, if it's accurate, and she says it is. I really want her to read this after I do. I'm listening to on audio on Scribd actually, and we share our accounts because we always do that. So I'm probably gonna make her listen to this after I do, so she can see if she likes it from a nurse standpoint, but I'm loving it so far. I'm about halfway through, and it's super good. The last one is the book that's gonna last, and that is the book that you really learned more about yourself from. And that is the book that made you love yourself. And for this, I have to go with The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hoang. This is about Stella. I think you already know what this is about. She has Asperger's. She's super awkward, especially when it comes to the opposite sex, and so she hires a male escort to try to teach her how to be intimate and in a relationship. Stella is probably one of the most relatable characters I have ever read about. Like, she has her disability, and she's trying so hard to get over it and to try to be normal in today's society. I related in the sense that like we all feel super awkward and not at all confident when it comes to the dating world. I mean, I don't know about you, but I can definitely relate, and so I loved reading about her and the fact that Michael is like the picture perfect man, and I want to date him. I think everyone can see a little bit of themselves in Stella, and I definitely learned to love myself and embrace myself just like Michael embraces Stella. And that is the thank you next book tag. Let me know down below if you love this song, if you agree with these choices, and what your 3 books would be, what both taught you pain, love, and patience. I would love to hear. As always, thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.